A green storm rises beneath the clouds, a continent of leaves, stretching beyond sight, beyond understanding, beyond anything the civilized world remembers. Here, in the heart of Central Africa, the Congo Basin breathes like a living world unto itself, a kingdom older than deserts, older than savannas, older than almost every forest left on earth. Its canopy glows under the morning haze, shaking off the night's humidity, as if the land itself is waking from an ancient dream. Every sound, every rustle, every flicker of motion feels amplified in this place, where life has never been interrupted. Mist snakes between the trunks of colossal trees, climbing upward in slow pillars of silver light. Some of these giants have stood for more than 1,000 years, their roots gripping red earth that has soaked in centuries of rainfall. Vines coil up their bark like veins, pulsing with moisture. The air carries the scent of soil so fertile it feels almost sweet. Down below, the forest floor is a shadowed maze, soft and damp, cushioned with moss that swallows footsteps. It feels impossibly quiet until you stop moving. Then the forest erupts around you, insects humming in vibrating layers, birds calling from heights the eye can't reach, unseen creatures crackling through leaves like whispers in the dark. The Congo is a paradox of extremes. A place overflowing with life, yet unforgiving to the unprepared, a world drenched in eternal rain, yet capable of fire-hot humidity, a sanctuary of rare species, yet harsh and relentless in every direction. It is here that Earth reveals its primal self, raw, humid, and impossibly alive. Rivers carve their way through this green empire, bending and twisting like ancient serpents. The Congo River, vast and slow and powerful, moves with the force of something that has shaped civilizations, but its tributaries, narrow, winding, hidden beneath the canopy, are the true lifelines of this wilderness. They carry sediments from distant mountains, nutrients from rotting leaves, and reflections of the jungle mirrored on their dark surfaces. Fish ripple below, flashing silver, gold, and patterns that mimic fallen leaves. In the shadows, crocodiles drift without sound, their eyes barely rising above the water. Where the forest meets the flood, an entirely different world emerges. The peat swamps of the Cuvette Centrale, a flooded labyrinth stretching farther than the horizon. Here, trees grow from the water itself, their roots spreading like spiderwebs, creating platforms where birds land, where monkeys leap, where rare antelopes take careful steps above a darkness that hides untold secrets. The swamp is silent, but never still. The water trembles with movement, the canopy quivers with life, and the air hangs heavy with ancient breath. Night arrives abruptly, as if someone dims the world in a single motion. Sunlight is swallowed by the canopy, then replaced by a darkness so complete it feels physical. But the forest does not sleep, it transforms. Crickets ignite the night with metallic rhythm. Frogs call in steady pulses. Wings flutter in every direction. And from time to time, eyes appear between the roots, glowing amber or crystal white, watching with intelligence or instinct or curiosity. Bioluminescence glints along the trunks, faint green glows from insects and fungi that feed on the forest's endless supply of fallen life. Fireflies drift like embers lost in the darkness. The night here is not dead. It is a symphony of motion. Rain falls suddenly, without warning. It begins as a soft tremble, then unleashes in roaring sheets that hammer the leaves. Lightning rattles the sky, splitting the darkness with shockwaves of blue-white light. Thunder rolls through the canopy in long, shuddering echoes, shaking branches, sending fruit tumbling to the ground where waiting creatures seize the unexpected feast. The rain fills ponds and pools in minutes, floods passages, carves new channels into the earth. But it also renews the forest, healing the wounds of broken branches, cooling the heat of the afternoon, giving life to everything that crawls, swims, flies, and climbs. After the storm, the forest glitters, every leaf beaded with water, every branch shimmering like crystal. Steam rises like smoke from the canopy as the sun reclaims the sky. The air becomes thick, heavy, a burden and a blessing. You inhale not just oxygen, but humidity, pollen, the aromatic breath of plants, the earthy scent of decay and rebirth. This place is not just alive, it is constantly becoming. In the shadowed depths of the forest roam some of Earth's most elusive beings. The forest elephant smaller than its savanna cousins, but quieter, more intelligent, moving with a grace that contradicts its size. It leaves trails through the undergrowth, carving paths used by countless other species. These paths are the silent highways of the Congo, shaped over centuries by the slow push of tusks and the weight of ancient steps. To see an elephant here is like watching a ghost pass through a dream. Slow, careful, deliberate. Lowland gorillas drift through the foliage, massive yet gentle, wise yet mysterious. The air changes when they draw near, branches sway, leaves tremble, the scent of crushed vegetation fills the air. Their movements are almost human, their faces thoughtful, their eyes filled with an intelligence that makes the forest feel even older. They sit in clearings where sunlight pools like liquid gold, feeding, watching, listening to the forest breathe. Okapis, one of the Earth's most surreal creatures, step through the undergrowth like illusions. With stripes like zebras, bodies like antelopes, and faces resembling giraffes, they seem sculpted from pieces of different worlds. They move silently, barely disturbing the leaves. Rarely seen, never forgotten, they embody the forest's magic. Half remembered, half revealed, never fully known. Insects rule the lower layers, ants forming living bridges across ravines. Termites building spires taller than a human, butterflies drifting in dazzling clouds of color. Life here is not just diverse, it is relentless. Everything competes, cooperates, evolves. Predators and prey weave their destinies through a green maze, each playing its part in a complex system forged through tens of millions of years. The forest canopy is its own universe. Rise above the ground, and you enter a realm of sun-soaked branches and suspended gardens. Monkeys leap effortlessly from limb to limb. Birds flare their wings in flashes of metallic blue and crimson. Some species never descend, their entire lives unfold in this elevated kingdom, far above the mud and shadows of the forest floor. Orchids cling to branches, moss forms cool, vibrant carpets, sunlight flickers like shifting fire. Here, in the treetops, the air feels different, lighter, warmer, touched by the wind that cannot penetrate below. Looking down, the canopy resembles a sea of green hills and valleys, undulating gently with the breeze. Looking up, only patches of sky peek through the interwoven branches. It feels endless, eternal, a world suspended between earth and sky. As the morning deepens, shafts of sun pierce through cracks in the sky, striking the forest floor in isolated pillars of brilliance. Dust swirls inside them. Butterflies drift lazily across. Birdsong echoes through the branches in waves. The forest begins its daily rhythm, feeding, hunting, calling, building, repairing, a cycle that repeats with the precision of a heartbeat. Far beneath the ground, layers of peat hold millennia of secrets. Ancient pollen, preserved beneath the pressure of endless rain, whispers stories of climates long vanished. Roots snake through soil that has never known drought. Water seeps slowly downward, forming hidden reservoirs. The Congo Basin is not just a forest, it is a living archive of Earth's history, a fragile vault holding clues to everything the planet once was. And yet, for all its abundance, the Congo is defined as much by mystery as by life. Vast regions remain unmapped. Entire valleys, swamps, and plateaus lie hidden beneath cloud cover, so thick it feels like a second forest in the sky. Scientists estimate that countless species remain undiscovered organisms that live and die in complete anonymity, their existence known only to the forest itself. To explore this place is to confront the unknown at every turn. Even the weather defies convention. Storms build without warning, towering cumulonimbus clouds rising like mountains above the canopy. The air grows electric, leaves tremble. Birds flee moments before the first crack of thunder shakes the sky. Rain pours with a force that can strip bark from trees, then disappears as quickly as it came, leaving behind a glowing, steaming, reborn forest. But not all storms arrive from above. Some rise from below, floods fed by distant rains, creeping through the roots, turning dry ground into swampland. During these moments, the forest rearranges itself. paths vanish, pools merge. Creatures retreat upward, climbing higher and higher until the forest becomes a layered world. Roots beneath water, trunks rising above, branches carrying life to safety. When the waters recede, the forest leaves no trace of its transformation. This is a place in constant motion, shifting, growing, collapsing, renewing. As the sun sinks, the sky ignites in amber, then fades into shades of deep violet. Shadows stretch across the forest like long fingers. Animals fall silent, one species at a time, until only the night creatures remain. The air cools slightly. Mist gathers again, swirling through the trees. Fireflies return in gentle waves, flickering like drifting stars. The forest returns to its nocturnal self, quiet yet alive, dark yet glowing, and in this darkness, something profound becomes clear. The Congo Basin is not merely a location. It is an ancient force indifferent to time, invulnerable to haste, shaped by cycles so vast they dwarf human comprehension. It is a refuge for species that survived ice ages, droughts, extinctions. It is the last green kingdom, untouched in places, unknowable in others, eternal in ways that feel mythic. To stand here is to witness Earth as it once was, wild, unbroken, breathing in slow rhythms older than memory, a world where nature doesn't just survive, it reigns. And as the forest exhales one more time into the heavy night air, you understand a truth whispered by leaves, echoed by rivers, and carved into the bones of ancient trees. The wild endures not because it is protected, but because it is powerful enough to become eternal.